Greetings, Internet. Welcome to Aaron Plays, and I hope you're doing fantastically well. Well, it's the 17th of December in real life, and the 17th of December in the game. Now, that might no longer, after today, that might drag on a little bit so that the actual reflection of the day in the game will probably not be the reality. It's very hard to film quite a lot of videos um, in an evening. Without saying, let's go down the map and see what is actually going on in this game. Enemy Action Ardennes, the Battle of the Bulge. So we're going to be doing the first complete turn, 16th of December. The game system did the German first activation, but we'll be doing, or impulse, whichever way you want to word it. In this, it's going to be right the way through the sequence of play. This is as far, I've never gone this far in the game, so this is all going to be new to me. So any bumbles and fumbles, let me know in the comments. I was a little surprised. I mean, for the 16th of December, I shot two videos. The first one did the beginning of the game turn, and the second one did the last part of the game turn. I was very surprised at the amount of views that the first one got was not so much, and the second one got loads. So didn't quite understand why no one, or less people were interested in watching the beginning of the turn. But that's your choice. If you haven't watched the beginning of the 16th and want to do so, it is out there. Anyway, so going through the sequence of play, or we'll also have a look at what is going on. The Germans are making a big push here in the center, which you would expect, with the 2nd Panzer Division moving, in fact, an infantry unit from the 2nd Panzer Division being the closest to the Meuse. So, yeah, they're doing well there. Am I doing well anywhere? Not particularly. There were two areas that were pointed out by comments. One is I moved a unit through a zone of control here, which I shouldn't have done. And another one is one of the cards said two divisions, I can't remember the numbers now, 90th and something else. And it said or, and I read and. So I moved a couple of extra units that I shouldn't have done so. Let's hope I don't make any of those kind of mistakes. I don't think it's helped me in a great stead because, as I say, there's nothing here apart from a couple of armored units, but there is nothing here apart from some roadblocks and a couple of twigs that is stopping the steamroller that is the 2nd Panzer. And 1st SS, well, it's starting to, well, it's broken through here. And I assume it will continue to do so. Okay, that's my wibble wobble. Let's go through the actual sequence of play. The first thing I've got to do is release the Allied reserves from the calendar. So we have a little calendar here, and all those Allied reserves will now move to the unit box, which is here. So there's a couple of units that weren't actually brought in last turn. Let's see if I can bring them there. Those go to there. The German units stay on this track until one of their cards allows them to be released, and then they will move to the reserved units here. And then it's card preparation phase. Well, I've done that already in the sense that, so let's just don't need that at the present moment. And what have we actually what have we got here? So some nice units of the 7th Armored. That'll help. 10th Armored and 2 units of 5th Corps. 1st Infantry Division, Elite, of course, Big Red 1, and the 9th Infantry Division, which is at least a line unit rather than green. Okay, so let's close that down. Right, so the next step is, I say, the card preparation. That's, I say, I've done it already. But effectively what happens is the supplemental cards, there was a few extra cards that were brought in which had the 17th on them. There was one primary card that went into this area here. Then there was supplementary cards that went into this area here. The supplementary discards from the previous turn, from the 16th, they stayed there for the moment. I then had effectively 4 prime cards. I added whatever the turn sequence told me to do from here to here. I think it was, I tell you what, don't think, let's have a quick look. It told me, supplementary cards, 5 cards. All right. So I drew 5 cards from this deck, which has taken the new ones, but not the ones from here, brought them into the prime cards, then added the supplemental discard from the last turn into that deck, so they're not there, weren't available to me then. Then, see, each one of these is automated shuffle. I then drew my hand size, which for this turn is 5. Last turn it was 4. Drew 4 cards from their build pile, and that then gave me, whew, after all that, um, click the wrong button, my hand, which there you go. I'll hold that on screen for a moment if you want to do a screenshot or whatever, but that is my hand to start with. So there's 3 primary cards in there and 2 supplementary. Only one of them's got the date 17th on it. That's the actual date there. So never seen that card before. Okay, so that's my hand. But we don't start with me like we did in the 16th, so we actually start with the Germans. So the German deck display, they've effectively got 25 cards sitting there ready to go. They didn't get any additional cards, but there's 25 cards that they're going to play through. And so that's card preparation. I was just about to draw their cards, but before then, we haven't had to do it before, we have the supply phase. Generate German detachments. Now that's only on the 18th of war, so we haven't got that. Determine supply status of all German units in play from the 19th, and so that's not happening. And from the 17th, all Allied units in play. Remove all low supply, out of supply, and isolated marker from units in supply. And then it says adjust supply state. Place a low supply marker on unsupplied units. If already in low supply, well, none of them be in low supply at the present moment, because that's the first time I've had to determine it. So I've got to check supply status of my units. Okay, so I've got a couple of units with low supply. This unit here can trace supply to there, and then there. So that's 2, 3, 4 hexes back to that road, and then supply. So he's just in supply. Everyone else up here is okay, just. These two, however, there's a zone of control there, there's a zone of control there, and there's a zone of control there, there, and there. So those both are out of supply, so they're marked as low supply. This unit here is marked with low supply as well, because there's obviously a German zone of control here, here, and here. These two are fine, and these ones at the back here are fine. So that's my supply status. The main effect of being out of supply at the moment for those ones, or low supply, is I can't play a combat card, a combat tactic card on them. So they operate otherwise normally. They can't exit the map. I mean, okay, I think that's mainly for the Germans. But the main thing is a combat tactic card cannot be played for those units. And now we're into the German impulse. Okay, I'm going to try and see how many impulses I can get. I don't want the video to be too long. So let's see, this will be the first German impulse. Put number 1 there. And what we've got to do is draw some cards. There we go. We draw 2 cards. So we'll draw one here and here. Anyone with a primary becomes the command card. And this one, therefore, becomes the support card. Then we check to see if there is any command event on here. Now, it's got the word event here. I wish they'd use the word command event. Is that a command event? Let me check. Okay, so that bridge engineers is a command event, but it's not able to be implemented. There's no hex. None of the bridges here that are blown, 1, 2, 3, are eligible for repair because there's a allied unit negating the, I mean, this one here has got an allied zone of control. If there is a German unit there, then that could have been repaired. And there's no other German units that are, could be supplied by putting a bridge up would help them to be supplied. At the present moment, the German supply situation looks okay. So No bridge. So that card therefore stays as a support card. Right. So let's see what card we actually have to play around with. It's the 5th Panzer Army and the XV1 Corps. Something I think I might have forgotten last turn was placing of core objectives for some of these cores. I'll just double check that and see if that is necessary. I should have placed this marker for the LXV1 core, um, as that's the core that is now activated. Where do you place it? It tells you in the hex there. So 11 hex 1106. That is hex 1106. I've now placed it there. Oops, that probably should have been placed last turn. Also now, the first thing I'll check is remove roadblock markers adjacent to active German units. There are none adjacent to active German units. Relocate army objective marker if required. Now this is possible, but it's not related to active units. They're part of the 5th Panzer Army. The 5th Panzer Army marker is here. And there is a unit that is within 2 hexes of it, and it doesn't say it has to be an active unit. So that objective marker needs to be moved. So I have to roll a dice, and the 5th Panzer Army is the current marker is in Houffalize, Houffalize. And on a 1 to 6, it will move to Marsh. On a 7 to 9, it will move to Derby, and it will move to Rochefort. Okay, it's a 10. It moves to Rochefort. Did I just say that? Yeah, Rochefort. Where is Rochefort? All the way back there. Okay, so the army objective has been moved. Okay, so let's zoom in on that section of the front. Okay, so that corps has got 3 units, and we have to determine what movement method they'll be using. Okay, so let's see, any special moves? I've gone through all the movement methods for those 3 units, and due to current zones of control, I can't see any movement options. I thought this might be a move. Where's my mouse gone there? Might be able to move from there to there, because you can't move from the zone of control to the zone of control. But from move to there costs 2, and then from there to there is 4. They've only got 3 movement. The armor can't do it either. So I think they're pretty much stuck where they are. So again, he can't move from there to there because of the zone of control, and he can't move from there to there because of the zone of control. So that's where they currently are. There is no movement. However, I don't mean they can't do anything nasty. We now check for attacks. We check for these attacks in ascending order. So we're checking on this unit, attacking this unit. Okay, so the current odds, it's 2.5 to 3, and he's defending in a forest. So that's going to add 1. I can't see anything. So that's going to be a less than 1-to-1 attack, so that doesn't occur. Then we check this and this attacking this. So 5, 6, 7 to 2. 7 to 2, 3 to 1. Is he in forest? That adds 1 to his defense, so it's 3. In improved position, no. Adjacent to a supplied allied unit. No, they're in no supply. Cleared terrain. No. And unsupplied. Yes, it's -1. So he gets +1 for the forest, -1 for the unsupplied. So currently then he has a defense 2. So it's 3 to 1. And on a 3 to 1, I need to roll a dice to see if the attack goes in. Modifiers. Okay. Attacks include any elite? No. Attacks activated by an army or army group card? No. Supporting card shows applicable tactics. Yeah, you've got press the attack, which looks like an applicable tactic. Draw one additional combat chit. Okay. So yes, that's a net -1. Low is good. 1 becomes 0. Attack proceeds do not cancel. Okay. So we have effectively a 3-to-1 potential attack going in. So we now have to draw an additional German card. And that's an overwhelming attack. Apply cards combat tactic. So let me get the German deck. We draw a card. Where are we going to put it? Well, I suppose we'll put it by there, don't we? Okay, so it's fixed artillery, which is different from this card here. So it will apply. In fact, both apply. So what does fixed artillery give us? All right, this is the first time we've had one of these turn up. German combat events. Fixed artillery. Would help if I looked at the Germans, wouldn't it? Functions like the artillery tactic, but only applies if the unit defending in combat is within fixed artillery range or any west wall hex as listed on the current calendar date. Right, let's have a look at that. Okay, so the fixed artillery range is 3 hexes from the west wall. There's a west wall hex, so that definitely applies. So they're going to have press the attack and artillery involved in this attack. Okay, so how many chits do they draw? Basically, there's 2 German units attacking equals the number of attacking units with non-bracketed combat strength, so it's 2. For each combat tactic played by the attacker, it's another 2. So that's 4. Do I really want to play anything from here at the present moment? No, because they're out of supply. I can't play a combat tactic card. Just remembered that one? No? Okay. So that's 4 chits so far. If the attacking units include 1 or more elite units, no. For each attacking unit with 3 or 4 steps, there's 1, so that's now 5 chits. If the defender's out of supply, he is. That's 6 chits. Not isolated, and I haven't played screen, so it's 6 chits. But we've got push the attack or press the attack, 7 chits. So I'm going to mark that here. So we're drawing 7 chits. Okay, and it's a double check the odds 5, 6, 7 to 2, 3 to 1. Right, first chit. Dispersed unsupplied. Defender adjacent. Both apply, therefore we take the P as the primary chit. So yes, that's 1. Large attack or 16th? No. Allied air power? No. 9 to 1? Definitely not 9 to 1. Less than 4 to 1. It is less than 4 to 1. Ooh. Flank attack? No. Greater than 7 to 1? No. Flank attack would apply if it was 2 separate hexes. Sorry, 2 non-adjacent hexes. That might be better way of putting it. That's 4 out of 7. Woods, forest. It is a forest. Yeah, it's definitely not clear. But woods or forest. This ain't going too well. The Germans attack artillery. Yes. Defender artillery. No. Attacker artillery. Yes, that's that combat chit. So it's 1, 2, that's 6 so far. The last one. Dispersed or unsupplied. Yes, make sure that doesn't. Yeah. Okay. Dispersed or unsupplied. So that's the 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chits drawn for the combat. Okay, so we've got A-1, A1, so that's sort of cancelled out by the A-1. There's only one other A-1, so the Allies, the Germans the attacker aren't taking any losses. Right, defender, there is 1, 2, 3, 2. So it's 2 step losses or 2 steps on my unit. Okay, he can retreat to here. It is a zone of control, but there's a friendly unit there in the hex. So that stops a step loss. So that's one step loss I've got to take. The other one, oh, I don't think that automatically disperses me, does it? Okay, so I fulfilled one step loss by retreating one hex. I can't really retreat a second hex. Um, so I have to take a actual step loss there. Okay. Let's cut down the amount of counters, shall we? In that hex because they're still unsupplied. Now to determine German advance. I have to check in ascending order. So starting with that unit there. Um, is that following an arrow? Hold on. No. Forward by primary, secondary route, or across the river and closer to army objective. Is that close? Oh, and closer. Or into VPX or enable supply. No. Into town or closer to army objective. Right, I have to determine the range of the army objective, which is way back. Where's it gone? There it is. Boom. Well, according to this, they don't advance. It just says other route. No. It says you've got the option of forward by primary stroke secondary route or across a river and closer to army objective or into a VP hex or enable supply. None of those apply. Second option, into a town or closer to army objective hex. It's not closer to army objective, and that's not a town, that's a forest. That doesn't apply. Then it says other route, and then for every three options there, it says no. So they don't advance into that. That has taken me by surprise, but there we go. They've pushed the allies back, cleared them up, I suppose, for the next activation. Maybe that's the point. Okay, so that is them effectively done. We've done step losses, we've done check active units that did not move or attack in ascending order for removal to the reserve units box. Better check that. No, it doesn't apply. There's a lot of things that they've got to apply. The only potential unit was this one, but it's got to leave some combat steps in their hex, so that can't withdraw. So that's the conclusion of the German first activation. Okay, Allied first activation. I had a comment saying, is the 7th Armored coming into the rescue? And I think that might be. I'm going to be playing, let me get the Allied hand up, this card here, which says XV111, Airborne Corps, deploy all core reserves. Yeah, all core reserves is, if I look at the unit box, is these three armored units, which I think might come in useful. Maybe just slightly. Where to place them, though? Okay, so there are restrictions where I can place these units. They can't be at least 3 hexes away from a German unit or German town or city. That's fair enough. But also they've got restrictions of place the unit within 3 hexes of a unit in the same division. Already the map, there isn't any in the same division. If this is not possible, then place the unit within 3 hexes of a unit of the same corps. Now, the same corps, there's a unit here, which I can't because anywhere within 3 hexes of that is within 3 hexes of a German unit. Here, same problem. So, and I think those are the only 2 stacks with units from that corps. So the next restriction then, if this is not possible, then place the unit within 3 hexes of a unit in the same army. And the army color is denoted by that's a dark green, and then you've got a sort of a lighter green. So it's up here. So within 3 hexes of a unit of the same army, I'm looking at these boys here. I could place them with 1, 2, 3. That's too close. So I could place them here. Again, 1, 2, 3. I could place them here. Now, wherever I place them, that's where they all come on. Now, ideally, notice the word ideally, I want something to stop these dudes. Well, that's not going to apply because I've got to apply them within 3 hexes. So the nearest I can get to these dudes, 1, 2, 3, is here, which is within 3 of him. So, ideally it would be in the town, wouldn't it? But I can't achieve that. Placing theirs within, 3 hexes. So it looks like there. And they've all, as I say, got to be placed in the same hex. So let's do that. So 1, 2, 3, yeah. The 7th armored have arrived. And that is my activation complete. Not quite. I drew the next card, which is this one here, another primary card. Notice it's the same core that I just played. That means I could play that next round because this previous card was reserves, not an activation. Where I can't activate the same unit sequentially, 2 impulses in a row. But playing reserves isn't doing that. So I could activate X311 core, but that will depend on what the Germans do. And let's see what the Germans do. So let's see what the Germans are going to do. German deck, drawing 2 cards. Right, so neither are primary, but that's got the highest number. So that is the German command card, and that is the German support card. Is there any event? There is. Oh, it's got to be a special event. It's got to be a normal command event. There is no command event, so that stays as a combat card, which Combat Engineers gives them. Okay, let's. Oh, there's a special on this one though. 16th and 17th. The Wonder Height card. I think that gets played. It is indeed. Right, so we have to determine where this little airborne brigade is actually dropped. So it's from the unit box. There he is. Now the options is in the first of the following hexes that is not occupied by or adjacent to an allied unit. So we're looking at 0510 first. Let's zoom in a little bit. Sorry to zoom in. 0510, which is that hex there. So is that adjacent to an allied or an allied unit in there? No, so that's where he goes. 510. We then need to determine his supply state. Low is good for the Germans on this one. A 5. He's in low supply. So let's get one of those out. There. So once placed, VDH may not move, may not retreat, and if attacked and may not retreat if attacked and is never activated. Check VDH supply per normal supply rules during the supply phase. No allied reserve unit may be deployed within 3 hexes. Well, okay, of him. I presume he's cutting the roads and doing a little bit of mischief and so on. And the Germans will try to relieve him. So, yeah, and that means that card is played, and that's classed as a first impulse. So look at him bring up the German cards. Come on, bring up the German cards. There we go. So that is played. And that means as this is still here, that now moves into there and becomes now the command card. Okay, so activating the Panzer Corps and the 560th Division, 116th Division, but not the actual core unit in that hex. The L, just it's only the 2 divisions that are activating. I've gone through remove any adjacent row markers to the active German units. There are none. Relocate army objective marker. No. It's not close enough. And then moving the active units on the map. Okay. And that's, I've gone through most of the mythologies. The one that sort of seems to apply is follow movement arrows. So, and we start this in ascending order. So unit 1 starts first. So he will follow in that hex. Let's just zoom in a little bit. There we go. I can remove the counters. Primary arrow. So he goes in there for 1. Then in that hex, he goes in there for 2, and then is halted by the roadblock. It says avoid any move adjacent to allied unit if possible. Move if able to spend full movement allowance following arrows with preference given to primary arrows. Though I'm assuming the roadblock takes precedence and stops that. Okay, so that's unit 1. Unit 2, same division. Again, follow the primary arrow. So that is 1. Now, that's a good point. I should be leaving detachment markers. On none of those there was 1, but on this unit here, I can leave a detachment marker. And I can leave a detachment marker there. So let me just bring some of those into the game. So we have a German detachment marker there and in there. And so far he's gone 1, 2, again, following the primary arrows into there. So, and that will also leave a detachment. Wherever these HV high value hexes are, I'll leave a detachment. Okay. So he's so far, as I say, gone 1, 2, 3. Follow the primary arrow will actually, take him into there for 4. And again, stop by the roadblock. And another German detachment is placed in there. Let me just make sure, because the first time I place detachments, so I'm not, milking the pudding, as it were. Yep, that seems to be correct. Right, so that was unit 2. Then it's the next lowest one, it's unit 3. And again, following the arrows. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that hex is overstacked. So where's the secondary arrow go? It goes into that hex there, which is clear. So that's 5. All right. This unit can't move because it's not part of those 2 divisions. He's a core unit. And then this unit, again, is using the follow movement arrows. So where does he go? Yep. So that's 1, 2, 3. And that's it. There's no allied units that can be attacked. So we placed all the detachment markers. So I think that's the German. Oh, just double check. Discard card if support card in play. We've done the support card because that was a second impulse. Otherwise, German impulse is over. And notice I have shown that that was their second impulse. What to do? I fancy having a counterattack. I don't really, I mean, I am toying with activating 8th Corps and having these 2 attack this guy. And then the other units sort of maybe pull this guy back to see if I can get this guy back in supply. That's what I'm toying with. But I'm very conscious that if I attack him, my armored units will be together, and I have a feeling that with this and this and this, they could surround. The other option is, because I brought these reinforcements in, is to activate these and then to garrison this hex and possibly this hex here. So yeah. Am I ready to counter? I want to. I really, really want to, but yeah, maybe not. Oh, it's so hard. I am quite an aggressive player, so okay. Let's not chuck the baby out with the bathwater yet. Okay, so this is the card I'm playing. All right. We're going through the options. Deploy all core reserves. No. Assign. No, no, no. Activate all units in core. We're just double checking, make sure that that is allowed. So activating all the units in the core. Um, right, so we'll send that play card, place in primary stack. So I've still got the card in my physical mitts. Okay, activating all units in the core. So we've got this unit here and these two here. I can't see any way of getting supply to them. This unit here, I think I need to fall back. So we're into the movement. So we're going to fall him back from there to there. So he's leaving a zone of control, but there is no zone control into that hex. He was looking mightily exposed. So moving through a forest is for infantry. I think it's two. Yeah, it's two. Now, we could move him to here, but then he's sitting in the clear. I don't really like that. But I'm obviously conscious that this guy could surround him and these guys could surround him. If he's here, then I could do it. I mean, well, I'm not going to do an attack on Piper. Ooh, 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 could I? Oh man, now I'm getting that. Ooh, now I'm being tempted. He's only got one step, and that would definitely help these guys. Ooh, okay. So that's two to there, three to there. Right. Okay. Then we will bring him to there and to there. And that technically surrounds Piper. Interesting. Right. So I would have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 onto Piper. Now, I definitely want one armored unit in there. And yeah, I definitely need something in here. Would be nice to get another tank in on Piper though, wouldn't it? I'm very tempted and leave that to the 8th corps. Hopefully the 8th corps will go before the Germans activate there. Okay, let's do it. So he's going to go there and into there. Ooh, exciting. Mention in the comments if I've done anything absolutely foolish or wrong or incorrect, but I am going to go and do my first attack. Okay, so going through the Allied attack sequence, determine target, done that, and attacking units. So, well, all of them. Play combat tactics at your option. I'm going to play the core artillery card, which is card number 5, that one there. Okay. And then I'll return that card to the draw pile. So, and if A, return this card to the draw pile. So that's giving me core artillery. And then draw one German card if in supply. Now, technically, they are in supply because, well, I say technically, they are in supply because Germans are always in supply on the 16th, 17th, and 18th. I think it's the 19th they start worrying about supply. So let's have a look what combat card they get. German card display, drawing a card for them. Okay, infantry infiltration. Okay, if draw one German card if defender is in supply. If card shows defender's formation, check for undetected German defender. German's formation, no. If not, apply the card's combat tactic, if any. Now, infantry infiltration, that normally sounds like an attacking thing, attacker only. So that doesn't apply. Now, I've got this question again. Does that go back in the deck, or is that just, yeah, gone, tough luck? Let me check. It don't say. I honestly don't know what to do with this card. It's a primary, it's quite a powerful card. That has no effect. Okay, I'm going to put it by the side of the discard pile because I don't know what to do with that. If anyone can answer that question in the comments, let me know. Because, as I say, it's quite an important consideration, but I can't find anything that says that if a card is drawn and doesn't apply, put it back in the deck. Unless it says on the card, put it back in the deck. So I think it's gone, but let me know in the comments, please, if you know. Okay, I am now going on the process of drawing chits. So how many chits do we get? Let's have a look. Combat chits. Oh, anything in the discard pile as yet? So, minimum is 1. Maximum now. For each combat tactic played by the attacker. All right, sorry, equals the number of attacking units. I have 3, 4, 5 attacking units. With non-bracketed. Okay, there's one with bracketed, so it's 4 attacking units. Plus 1 for each combat tactic. I played 1 combat tactic, so that's 5. If attacking units include 1 or more elite units, I don't think there's any elite for me. No. If the attacking units with 3 or 4 steps, no. The defender is out of supply, no. Defender's isolated, no. Defender played the screen, no. Okay, so going back over that, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 units that count. 1 combat tactic is 5. So it looks like 5. That's not great, is it? It'll be a bit more than that, but okay. 5. The odds of the attack is 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. It's a 5 to 1 attack. Now they're in a town. That doesn't double. It's a city that doubles the strength, isn't it? Town. Defender hits in combat reduced by 1. Flanking attacks do not apply. Okay. So I'm drawing 5 chits. Now I can choose less than the maximum, but I think in this case, I'll really want to take this guy out. So that's 5 chits. First one, 5 to 1, equal to and greater than 5 to 1. I think we just worked that out. It was equal to and greater than 5 to 1. 4, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 to 3 is 5 to 1. So that does apply. Yippee! Second chit. Oh, I better look at the other side of it just in case. No. Okay. Second chit. This one. But it's not 8 to 1. Less than 3 to 1? No, that one doesn't apply. Third chit. German air power? No. And Allied air power? No. Fourth chit. Equal to and greater than 1.5 to 1? Yes. Flip. Less than 1 to 1? No. So that one does apply. And fifth and final, only attacker armor? No. Flip. Only defender armor? No. We've both got armor involved, so that doesn't apply. So that's it. 5 chits. Wow. Okay, let's have a look. So defender are taking 2 hits. Now they're in the town, so they lose 1 less than that because of the town. That's still 1 step loss. Does that take out Piper? I think it does. Because everywhere, he's only got 2 retreat options here and here, either of which would cost him a step loss. So he holds and dies in that hex. Again, mention in the comments if you think I've done that incorrectly, but I think he's gone because he's got one step he's got to take. Well, he's got two step losses. He could ignore the first one, but he can't ignore the other lot. So I'm going to place it in an eliminated unit box. Okay, that means that I can advance back into that hex, and I'm going to use this unit. No, I'm going to use this unit to advance. Let me just see if there's any restrictions on my advances. I'm going to apply allied step loss. I'm going to take it off the armor. You know what? Actually, then let's not advance him in. Let's advance him in. I can't make up my mind. I know. Okay, advance him in and take the hit there. Okay, that seems probably the best. So that will put them back in supply, but that'll be determined in the next supply phase, I assume. So I'm going to put that center allied draw pile because I can reuse it. The artillery didn't have any effect on that battle, but that's then done. I think that's the end of my impulse. So I'll move that on to 2 to show I've completed 2 allied impulses. 2 German. I got to draw 2 cards because I'm actually down to 3. One because I attacked and that core card went back. So allied command cards, I will be placing 2 into the draw pile. 1, 2. Okay, put those. Same castle command stack. There we go. And that will mean I've got now that card and that card. Back to my 5. Right. Okay. I'm going to bring this back up to the top. And because I'm ending it there, because as I said, I don't want these videos to be too long. Let me know in the comments if that was the right thing to do, and obviously if I made any mistakes or missed something. But I think Piper was gone, which is good, as far as I'm concerned. Yeah, I I was going to attack with 8th Corps. Is it 8th Corps? Yeah, 8th Corps. But then I decided to activate that Airborne Corps and worked out I could do an attack on Piper. Yeah, the XV-111 Airborne Corps. So, little local counterattack. Have I totally exposed that formation? We shall see, depending on what the Germans draw. I'm going to end the video here. If there is any particular answer on that, if a German card, tactic card, cannot be utilized for any reason, is it still discarded or is it put back in the draw pile? Please let me know. I'm keeping the card to the side. I can't read anything that says put it back unless it's a card, a core card which says return to the deck. But it could be something I've missed. It could be in an errata I haven't seen. It could be a house rule that you guys use. Just let me know if you could. And that's the first part of the 17th. I'll see how I do later on tonight if I feel able up to do any more. Or as I say, this could be then released on the 18th or whatever. But we got the offensive started on the right date. The following episode will come, I assume, fairly regularly. Until next time, play games, have fun. Bye, Internet.